Welcome to Electronic Seed YouTube channel. Today in this video, we will learn about design for testability. Let's get started. We see that physical defects occur because fabrication demands extremely high precision. For instance, neighboring transistors might get accidentally short-circuited. Also, those ultra-thin wires can break, which leads to open circuits. These anomalies during manufacturing are the main reasons chips fail. A defect is a physical difference from what we intended in the hardware. For example, a missing contact or an extra particle might cause a short. A fault is the logical or electrical model of that defect. A classic example is a stuck-at fault, where a signal node is permanently at 0 or 1. Finally, a failure is when we actually observe the chip behaving incorrectly. Design for testability is not something we add later. We plan it from the start. We typically insert DFT logic after synthesis and gate-level simulation. The main goal is to improve how testable the final chip is. This DFT logic lets external test equipment reach internal nodes. The extra hardware we add is called DFT logic. Through this, internal nodes become visible from the chip's external pins. DFT is involved in both front-end and back-end design stages. It ensures that testability is built right into the architecture. Scan chains are a fundamental technique for testability. We reconfigure flip-flops to act as shift registers. We shift test patterns in and shift internal states out. This lets us observe the internal logic states easily. Built-in self-test, or BIST, embeds test generators and analyzers on the chip, so the chip can test itself without needing external test gear. Boundary scan is standardized as IEEE 1149.1, also known as JTAG. We place test cells at the I/O pins to enable board-level testing. Together, these techniques help us achieve high fault coverage. Verification is done before we manufacture the chip. It guarantees that our design is correct. We check that the RTL code and netlist are logically correct. We typically use simulation and emulation for this. Testing, on the other hand, is done on every single chip we produce. It verifies that the actual physical hardware works correctly. Testing is responsible for the quality of the devices we ship. It ensures our products are reliable for our customers. With billions of transistors, the number of possible fault sites grows enormously. Test coverage is the percentage of faults we can detect. Our ultimate goal with DFT is to achieve very high test coverage. For stuck-at faults, we target coverage above 99%. For transition faults, we need above 95%. The benefits of DFT include enhanced fault detection. We also get reduced test costs and improved yield. Plus, we see enhanced reliability and faster time to market. DFT also helps us comply with industry standards. However, challenges include increased area and power consumption. The design effort becomes more complex as well. But these trade-offs are acceptable for better product quality. Yield is the ratio of fault-free chips to the total number manufactured. Higher yield means each chip costs less to produce. This directly impacts our profit margins. DFT helps us identify defective chips early on. DFT allows us to correct the process based on defect analysis. It prevents faulty chips from being packaged and shipped. This protects the company's bottom line. And it safeguards our brand reputation by ensuring quality. DFT has become a fundamental requirement in the semiconductor industry. As technology nodes shrink, the challenges grow. Advanced techniques like hierarchical DFT are emerging. We're also seeing machine learning, guided test point insertion, and adaptive test flows are being developed. Ultimately, DFT ensures that Moore's law is matched with quality and reliability.